Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Abhishek Devle from Nagpur. I would be speaking on anterior segment OCT in glaucoma. Now, as we know that glaucoma is a progressive optic neuropathy, which is characterized by the field effects and the optic nerve damage. And most of the investigations, the imaging modalities are directed towards the examination of the optic nerve head and the RNFL. But what is the need for the anterior segment imaging in glaucoma? See, to know the mechanism of angle closure glaucoma, we should know the anatomy of the anterior chamber angle. Currently, there is till recently, the gonioscopy was only the gold standard for the angle evaluation, and no imaging modality was as such available. But gonioscopy has its own drawbacks in being it is dependent on the examiner's skill and interpretation, as well as on the patient cooperation, as well as it gives erroneous results with the placement of pressure on the cornea and use of excessive amount of light. Now, what are the imaging modalities which are available for the anterior segment imaging? There are two modalities, the anterior segment OCT as well as the ultrasound biomicroscopy. Now, OCT is a non-invasive high-resolution imaging modality that uses low coherence interferometry to obtain the cross-sectional three-dimensional images of ocular structures. Now, the wavelength used for the posterior segment examination in OCT is around 820 to 830 nanometer, while in anterior segment OCT, the wavelength used is 1310 nanometer. This wavelength helps in reducing the scattering, which ensures better penetration through the ocular structures like sclera and iris, as well as more detailed visualization of the anterior chamber angle morphology. And secondly, it increases it is absorbed more by the water in the media, and therefore only 10% of the light reaches the retina, which causes very less damage to the retina or almost no damage. Now, the principle of OCT is based on the low coherence interferometry, and the optical setup consists of Michelson's interferometer, which is a low coherence broadband with light source. The light beam is generated from the light source and it is split by the beam splitter. One of the beam goes towards the ocular structure and gets reflected back, and the other is reflected from the reference mirror, both of which form an interference pattern which is detected by detector, and the image is formed. Now, there are various types of OCT machines available, anterior segment OCT machines available, of which SwepSource is the newest one, which gives high resolution as well as more image depth and a rapid acquisition of scans. Now, compared to gonioscopy, OCT has various advantages in being it's a non-technical device, does not require any technical skill. It's an objective test and a very comfortable non-contact procedure. It does not give light artifacts as in gonioscopy, and it has a shorter learning curve. The major advantage is it is able to document the landmark. The only disadvantage here is it is expensive. Now, what are the applications of ASOCT in glaucoma? Broadly, it can be divided into four. It is used to study the normal anatomy of anterior chamber angle as a qualitative and quantitative analysis. Secondly, it helps in the delineating the mechanism of glaucoma, primary as well as secondary. It helps in the screening of the angle closure disease and also helps in the evaluation of glaucoma therapy. Now, coming to the quantitative analysis of anterior chamber angle, using sclera spur as the landmarks, it gives following parameters which would help in the quantitative assessment. The angle opening distance, which is the perpendicular distance between 500 microns anterior to sclera spur and the opposite iris. The other measurements include angle recess area, which is a triangular area bounded by the angle opening distance 500 or 700 micron, anterior iris surface, and the inner corneoscleral network. And third is the trabecular iris space, which is a trapezoidal area, which is bounded by the AOD 500 or 750 anterior iris surface, inner corneoscleral wall, and the perpendicular distance between the sclera spur and opposing iris. Now, what is the mechanism? It also helps in the mechanism of to understand the mechanism of the glaucoma, primary as well as the secondary. In primary glaucoma, in open angle glaucoma cases, it can measure the anterior chamber angle in degrees, as well as it can show the iris insertion related to trabecular meshwork. In case of angle closure glaucoma, it's help in differentiating between the appositional and the synachial angle closure, the extent of angle closure, as well as the mechanism of angle closure. You can now, in case of screening of the angle closure disease, it can show us the occludability of angle in conditions of decrease as well as increased light illumination, and it helps to identify the at-risk population, which can later be advised the laser iridotomy. You can see the opening of the angle in dark and the closure of the angle in light conditions. It can also help in differentiating between the appositional and the synachial angle closure. You can see here that there is only an iridotrabecular apposition, but no peripheral anterior synechia as such, while the synechial angle closure can easily be seen in this picture. Now, it can also help us in delineating the mechanism of angle closure, such as pupillary block, the plateau iris configuration, where it shows the primary angle closure without any pupillary block, and a prominent peripheral row of iris due to anteriorly directed ciliary processes. Now, another mechanism can be ciliolenticular block or the malignant glaucoma. In these cases, ASOCT demonstrates close iridocorneal angle with a shallow anterior chamber and anterior displacement of the iris as well as the ciliary body. It can also help in determining the mechanism of some of the secondary glaucomas like pigment dispersion syndrome, where it can show the typical posterior bowing of the iris with a wide open angle. Now, it can the one of the uses of OCT is evaluation of the glaucoma therapy, the laser therapy as well as the surgical therapy. After the laser peripheral iridotomy, we can see the deepening of the angle as well as with the patent iridotomy in place, we can see the deepening of the angle as compared to that before the peripheral iridotomy. Now, in imaging the trabeculectomy blebs, it can show the internal structures and provide the clear images of bleb wall, cavity, flap, and ostium. It can show the filtration functions such as patency of the sclerosteum and PI, and guides in performing needling and suture lysis, as well as the failed. In the case of failed bleb, it can show the level of failure. This is the route under the scleral trough for the filtration, and we can see a well-formed bleb. In case of this is a case of overfiltering bleb, where we can see a thin walled bleb and the large amount of aqueous in it, and in the encapsulated bleb hardly any aqueous we can see with the thick walled bleb. Now, it also helps in delineating the glaucoma drainage devices location and patency, as well as in cases of occlusion it can determine the cause of occlusion. Now, comparing ASOCT with UBM, we can see that it is advantageous in being a non-contact procedure, does not require any skilled operator, high axial resolution and faster acquisition, as well as wider field of view. But the disadvantages is, one of the main disadvantages is limited ability to visualize the structure posterior to iris pigment epithelium, and in cases of hazy cornea, and also it can be done only in the upright position. So the take-home message is, anterior segment imaging, including ASOCT and UBM, are good methods of visualizing the anterior chamber angle. OCT is rapid, simple, and reproducible technique which gives high resolution images. It is most commonly used for screening the spectrum of angle closure disease and give quantitative and qualitative analysis of AC angle. And it serves as an excellent tool for visualizing the intrableb structure and the glaucoma drainage devices placement, and does have post-surgical implications. And it may be used in the early postoperative period and to see the functionality of blebs, and may indicate early intervention for the blebs which are destined to fail. The only limitations include the cost and the poor visualization in opaque corneas and inability to visualize the lesions posterior to the iris pigment epithelium, where UBM should be used. So anterior segment OCT can acquire images and gives objective parameters, data, and the mechanism of glaucoma that are not possible with the clinical examination. Despite these advances in the imaging, the clinical examination cannot be replaced. Thank you.